What is going on, international professionals using English as a second language for career advancement? Maybe you speak just a little bit during the week, or maybe just once a month or once a quarter, or you speak every day. However, you're not quite feeling that your words are matching up to your talent. You're not expressing your ideas. It's really frustrating, and it could be keeping you from getting to that next step. We're going to go through concepts here, and today we're going to be talking about how to always add value as a way to connect with your audience, overcome your challenges with communication, while also improving your English fluency, if you even need it. A lot of my students around the world actually have a really good English skill. They make some mistakes. However, their biggest opportunity is the strategy and how they actually prepare for those meetings. So we're going to go over a concept called always add value. I'm going to read a little bit from the book and talk a little bit about how this works and give you something that you can use at the end of this little session, about 5-7 minutes, that you can use to improve your English and also, more importantly, really have a really solid conversation where you connect with the audience and you make progress towards a goal. Always add value. This is about taking the pressure off of you. It's much easier to help someone than it is to sell someone, right? Selling someone you have to overcome a lot of obstacles, it takes a lot of time. But if you can just focus on helping people, that's going to be your quickest way to really get out of your own head, one, and let the audience know that you really care about who they are, what they need. Really treat them like a family member that you would treat maybe your grandma. You wouldn't rip your grandma off. You would do everything you could to help your grandma, right? So I'm going to read a little bit about always add value and then give you a little bit more on what you can do to improve your preparation process and really connect on a deeper level that your competition just isn't doing because they're too focused on what they want. So always adding value. There's a famous line from the 90s sales movie, Glengarry Glen Ross, always be closing. You also hear this approach in Wolf of Wall Street with, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like The Great Gatsby, cheersing you guys. And he does an actually good job because he actually develops a need. So it's a little different. However, there's a lot of pressure in the way he does it. This approach is really shitty for a couple of reasons. One is that people today are hyper aware of fraud and also just fakeness with AI. It's just lots of things are ingenuine. So people are on high alert, probably more now than in the past. One thing is that putting a lot of pressure on the other person really makes them move away from you. Think about when someone puts a lot of pressure on you, does it make you more relaxed or does it make you more skeptical? Most people it makes skeptical. Another reason is that it's very transactional, and getting a sale or getting an agreement or getting whatever your next step is, maybe it's setting up a meeting, maybe it's them listening to your idea or taking your recommendation for an investment, whatever that outcome that you want is, you want to make sure that it doesn't just happen once, right? Like we want to get it that first time, but then after that, we want to make sure that we have a good relationship with that and that continues so that it's repeat business, it's a repeat relationship, it's a repeat conversation instead of a one-time thing. The final one is that it's self-serving. It's really all about you. And when we look at things that make most people happy, it's helping others and seeing that immediate impact when we help other people. That dopamine release is really powerful. And when you think about it, most people at their jobs, this is why they're good at their jobs, is because there's something about when they use their talent that they've either naturally have or earned or learned, and they're able to use it to help other people achieve an outcome that benefits them. That you see that impact and it's amazing. All right. So that was a little bit into the checklist here of why being, very transactional is not the best route. It doesn't work anymore. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So this is really true. People want to feel empowered, and that's why we think of sales as empowerment of others making a decision. So adding value. So even if you don't win, you don't get the outcome you wanted, if you're focused on helping that person and you help that person put them in a better spot, that is a win for you. That's a W. Not everyone is going to say no. Sorry. Everyone isn't going to say yes. So you have to calculate that you will hear people reject you, right? So if you looked at it from that sense, you could say, well, I failed this many times and I succeeded this many times. However, if you look at it from a value point of view, you're always add value. So you're always winning because you're developing your ability to help and empower other people. So lead with value. What you can do with this is read through this. Let's go through this quote before we wrap up. But people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So even though you are a very direct and logical person, you have to remember that you're dealing with another human being and there's an emotion involved in there. So adding value turns off this switch of overloading people with details and data and logic, and it helps you start to really have empathy and bring in an emotional aspect into your business that doesn't exist and doesn't come naturally for some people. So what you can do is read through this, add value, and then at the end here, what you're going to do is you're going to write down your goals. Now, when you go into these business meetings, you want to make sure that you have a clear outcome, even if you might not even speak in the meeting. But if you do speak, what do you want to happen? So think about your primary business goal, your primary outcome, and then start to work backwards and think of the smaller goals that you can hit that are going to help you reach that bigger goal. It makes it a lot easier. It takes a lot of the pressure off. Write those down. And what you can also do is write why this is important. If you want our AI prompt that will help you identify your errors, track your errors, and rewrite, increase your grammar, increase your fluency, and also your expression, let us know. We also have video recordings available. If you want to record video and send those in for us to review, we're more than happy to discuss that with you as well. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, go get it. This stuff works. You have the talent. Find the alignment, create the muscle memory, and you will get those results. So let's go. Let's get this.